Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about leveraging the fund. So when I talk about leveraging the fund, it's something that's done in the industry all the time. It's where you have a fund, and in our case, we have a fund of loans, a big, huge basket of loans, hundreds and hundreds of loans. And we, the general partner and the limited partners, own all of those loans. So let's say we own $100 million in loans and they're sitting there in our fund. We buy loans pay off, we turn around, we use that money to buy more loans, we have new investors bring more money in, we buy more loans. But leveraging the fund is where we actually say to a bank, hey, we've got this $100 million in loans sitting here. We'd like to borrow some money against it. Now, why would we do that? There's two reasons. One is if we can borrow the money from the bank at 7% and loan it out at 12%, there's a 5% spread that we're gaining. So that is leveraging the fund. The financial advantage is we're gaining that 5%. Well, now don't get all excited. That doesn't mean we're taking our return up 5% because we're only going to leverage a very, very small part of the fund. There are fund managers, general partners like in my position, that will leverage 100% of the fund, 50% of the fund. We're talking less than 10%, maybe 15% of the fund down the road. So for instance, on that $100 million rather, 1,000 million, what's a few zeros, right? Under that $100 million, we're gonna borrow $5 million from a bank on a credit line. The advantage of that, again, is the spread, but it's only on 5% of the fund. So that spread doesn't provides a marginal return, but in a fraction of a fraction of a fraction that none of us would recognize. But the best thing it does in our case is it allows us, because we like to keep our investors' money working all the time. We don't want money sitting in the fund's checking account because that doesn't pay very good interest, in case you haven't noticed. So we like to keep that money deployed. And then we have money waiting to come in the subscription account. Well, when we have money coming in the subscription account waiting in line to the fund and a nice loan comes along, let's say there's a really great apartment building, 50% loan to value, it's a $2 million loan and we want to do that loan. Well, if we don't have subscription money and we don't have money sitting in the fund, we have to pass on that very good loan. So by having this $5 million credit line, we're able to go to the bank and say, hey, send us $2 million of that money we borrowed. We're able to buy that loan, and then we're able to replace that money and pay off that loan. So while a lot of fund managers may do it to leave it long-term, heavily leveraged betting, and it is risky, that it will work out, we are not betting hardly anything. It's 5%, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe up to 10% of the fund at some point. But again, we're using it as a vehicle to help us buy good loans. And those loans we're buying, they're going through the same underwriting, they're going through the same scrutiny that we go through on all of our other loans. So that's the short of it for leveraging a fund. It's a way to take your money and make more money. And again, you'll see it done at 50, 100%. No thanks, you're with conservative Kevin. We'll stay in those single digits on the leverage.